All right, I will call to order the July 17, 2019 Solid Waste District of LaPorte County meeting to order. Everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Matias, Commissioner Cora,
Present.
Mayor Prince, Mayor Muir, Commissioner Mrzinski,
Present.
Councilman Mullenhour,
Present.
Councilman Przybylski.
Present.
We do have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
All right. And the minutes from the April 10th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Okay, are there any corrections or any corrections anybody wants to make? None. Then there was a motion by Board Member Cora and seconded by Board Member Mrzinski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Claims for May, June, and July.
Motion to approve. I'll second that.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second to approve the claims for May, June, and July. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The claims are passed. Financial reports through June 30th. Is that these? Oh, yeah, I got it.
Once again, the important number is in yellow at the top. Cash balance of $2,952,338.46 shows that we have sufficient funds to pay our bills and continue on throughout the year.
So we did get the money from the May tax.
We did.
Receipts, right? Okay.
Are there any big expenses coming down the path that we should be made aware of?
No unusual expenses, no.
Okay, just normal business operating
The
expenses?
biggest expenses are hauling fees with our service provider, Republic. Those are just contracted, but that's our largest expense.
Okay.
throughout the year.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
I'll second that too.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the financial reports through June 30th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Financial reports are accepted. Comments from the public? There won't be any comments from the public because there's nobody here from the public today. Director's report?
First item we have, which I'm sure you guys are all well aware of at this point in the calendar year, is our budget calendar that we're all going to be looking at for the year. This is our tentative projected dates that we're going to be working on the budget. We meet with the DLGF on July 22nd. On July 29th, we hope to get the packets out to all the board members for your review and any comment that you might have on our 2020 budget. August 9th, we hope to file the budget with the auditor's office for her to set us up for our public hearing, which would be August 26th, and then our adoption hearing on September 23rd. Those are all predicated on the county council. Whenever they set their public hearing, their public adoption hearings, we follow along with them. County council approves our budget. They can reduce or add to, but they can't get any of the money. It all reverts back to the solid waste district.
Okay.
It's kind of just they passed this law back in 2010, I believe, where everybody has to go to the county council for approval now. Even though we're not tax driven, we're user fee driven, we don't affect any of the county's budgets, and nothing that the county does affects our budget.
Okay.
It looks like the time frame has been moved up a little bit, so usually we're looking at September and October for our public hearing and our adoption hearing, but I believe it got moved up.
I think we moved up a month last year and another additional month this year, so.
So we'll be seeing at least Councilman Mullenhour in about a month. You know, in between to help us get it pushed through. We appreciate it.
Are there any questions from the board members for the director? All right, budget, calendar, that's what you just went through? All right. The Michigan City Public Recycling Dumpster?
We've been leaving that on our agenda because we've had some concern and some comments about it in recent months. And as you all should have received a letter from Attorney BG directed to our vendor, Republic Services, about how we're not really happy with the quality of work we're doing there. That has stepped up. And I did meet with the chairman right before our meeting, and he said he's noticed some noticeable improvements over there.
Very good.
We're still fighting a little bit of, I guess, vandalism or horseplay with it. Somebody likes to throw glass around the parking lot there. Broken beer bottles and stuff. But other than that, between Michigan City keeping an eye on it and helping us out, and us going up there keeping an eye on it, and our public services keeping an eye on it, we're kind of maintaining and we're staying up with it. We don't want to be bad neighbors to the mall there, and we don't want to be an eyesore to Michigan City since we're in such a prominent area there. So we've been keeping track of it. They're aware that we're keeping track of it. They've been letting our recycling coordinator know if there's any problem.
Yeah, and if I could comment on that, since we talked about that, 3 months ago, I think it was, and you sent a letter, Mr. Beji, I'll tell you, to me, the performance has improved 1,000%. I go through there quite a bit, and I use it, and I don't see recycling trash laying around like I did before. It's picked up, if there's an overflow from the weekend or whatever, it's picked up on Monday morning and everything else is taken with it, instead of just putting an empty box there and leaving the overflow lay around for a week or whatever. So it really has improved, and I appreciate you sending that letter, and I think it helped quite a bit to get that taken care of. And with the glass, I talked to Mr. Turner earlier, I'm going to talk to the mayor as far as having a street cleaner sent over to that area and get it cleaned up. We'll keep an eye on it. And then when it gets bad, we'll just ask for the street sweeper to come through there. Take 15 minutes, I think, to run this way, go up and down 3 or 4 times, and whatever you can pick up, you pick up. Yeah, I know you're not going to get it pristine, but at least get it cleaned up. Halfway
I'm sure
decent.
Residents of Michigan City would appreciate that if they have a safe access to the dumpster.
Oh yeah, right now, because if you plan on driving up there with your vehicle, I wouldn't. You'd have to park maybe 100 feet away and then walk up there. There's glass all over. Yeah, I drove through there before I came today, and I could see the glass all over the place. So we'll work on it. I'm going to talk to the mayor and get that street cleaner through there, and then we'll see what happens. But thank you for the letter. It's helped out quite a bit. Yeah, appreciate it. Okay, I think that's enough of Michigan City's problems over there with the recycling dumpster. Education update?
Okay, so as far as education, I finished doing the school programs for the year, for the last school year. I'm getting ready to start up on, I think most of the schools start about the second week of August, so I should be starting to do those. This year, with every class that I teach, I'm going to give them, we have new, remember the old rectangular bins we had that were the red ones? I got some blue ones made with our new logo, and so every classroom that I go and teach a class in, do a presentation, they're going to get one of those recycling containers to use in their classroom, so that they can start getting real bins and start, the kids already recycle there, but it's kind of different in every class when you go there as far as what the layout is. So hopefully that kind of gets them a little bit more on board as well. So that's getting ready to start. I have a camp next week going on. Eco Kids Camp is the third year, I think, doing it. I think there's 15 kids signed up for it. It's a free camp we do for 3 days. We go and do litter cleanup at the fair, which is always perfect, because there's lots of litter there. So they have fun with that. And then we do all kinds of different activities, kind of learn about the environment and that. Also have the dates for our plastic bag recycling events we're doing. So those will be in November. We're going to be doing all 3 of the Alice stores again, and then we're also going to be doing at the Wanata Town Hall. That one's on a Saturday. But yeah, so we'll do those. Those all go towards our Trex benches. We're working towards our 4th one right now. We have one at the LaPorte City Park Departments, one at Red Mill, and one over here at the animal shelter so far. So those are all made out of plastic bags, plastic films. They don't cost us anything to get them done. We just have to gather the 500 pounds of bags and drop them off at Kohl's. Kohl's has been a really great partner. They just let us offload them over at their loading docks, and then we just gotta send an email that says how many pounds each time. So we're gonna keep doing it as long as Trex lets us, because they're free. So, and then too, I'll be teaching some additional compost classes down at our actual compost site in September. I'm gonna do 3 in one day. It should be a blast. And so if anybody wants to learn how to compost, you can come down. You're all invited to come to any of our programs. And I'll teach you how to compost. It'll be all sorts of fun. So, but I think that's kind of like...
You wrapped up your 3rd Master Recycler?
Oh yeah, I did the 3rd Master Recycler class. I think there was like 13 people in that one. We did a summer one this time because there was a lot of teachers that wanted to attend. So we had pretty good turnout for that one. And they all seem like they have a lot of potential for creating new programs and kind of implementing those, which is nice. Like we have one of our past Master Recyclers that's doing the arts in the park. He's heading up the recycling there. He also does the Pops concert, the holiday Pops and stuff. So a lot of them are starting to take it on their own. We just kind of give them the guidance they need and then help answer questions. So these guys graduated like the 3rd of July, I think is when we finished that one. And so we'll be getting set up for next year, trying to figure out what time frame I'm going to do that one, because usually they're in the fall. So, but it was a pretty good group. So it's nice to see that we get more people interested. It just provides an extra extension of us. So they get all the same information that we know, and we can help get out there. But they cross paths with more people than I ever will, so they find people in different areas of their lives that they can pass information on and help us to get the message through. So, yeah. What else did I do?
Fabulous week at the fair last week.
I was at the fair last week. It was very hot, but I'm glad it's not this week. So there's a lot of people that came through. We did fly swatters and little chip clips we gave everybody. So if you guys need any of those, we have really nice fly swatters. And they're like the kind where you can actually swat the fly without it flying away. So, but yeah, so we did that. We had a good turnout. We did a drawing for one of our hand chairs that we have out front. We had 3 of those we ordered in this year. So one of those, I think we had at least 700 entries in there for the hand chair. It went to a guy over here in Pinola, Tom Schmidt. He ended up winning it, but there's a lot of people that came every day to enter just because they wanted to win the hand chair, which is nice. And it's made out of recycled plastics too, which is cool. But yeah, and then I did the Pride Fest in Michigan City, I think that was in June. And that one I actually had at the Pride Fest the same amount of people turnout-wise as I did at the fair. So in the fair, we're in the conservation building, and so people come by like when they're gold fishing, their kids are fishing or whatever, and they kind of like stop by, or there's other ones that just are kind of like loading up bags of stuff. And so we get a lot of questions that are good recycling questions, but there's not really a ton of people that come through that conservation building. So at the Pride Fest, I was kind of like set back next to where the amphitheater is there, the stage, and so all day long I got amazing recycling questions, and nobody yelled at me. It was awesome. And everybody actually wanted to recycle, and they were trying to find out more ways that they can recycle other things that they have in their households, and it was a super enjoyable experience actually. So I plan on doing that one, however long they keep doing that festival. It's like a one-day event. But yeah, so that, and then I'll still go to the fair and try my best to hang out there. But it's just a different crowd, I guess, basically, and it just seems like the ones at the fair are kind of just something else to do, but the ones that were at the festival are actually people that are more concerned with what's going on around them. So it was nice. But yeah.
And we provided all the recycling containers for the fair.
Yeah, we did all the recycling containers for the fair. I think we had 30 some out there. 4-H kids take it over. So last couple of years, shooting sports were the ones that they did it, and they went every morning, loaded up all the recycling. They give me a report at the end of the year of how many bags and stuff they collected. They keep the numbers on it and stuff. This year they turned it over, which is really the same kid, but he joined some other clubs basically. So junior leaders went with him this year, and the ATV safety club or something, I think is what they are, project something. So they actually took a four-wheeler with a trailer this time and went and did all the recycling, which is a lot easier to get through the fairgrounds with the four-wheeler. But I gotta say, they actually came back on Saturday night after the concert and they brought all of our collapsible bins back on the back of the four-wheeler. So, that was pretty impressive because I thought that was a little much. But yeah, so they do it all for free. They don't want it. All they want from me is a T-shirt. So because they're young kids. So I try to do a pizza party, but they just want T-shirts. So we have T-shirts with our logo on them. So we'll have a little bit extra. Some good kids running around at least with our logo on. So, do you guys have any questions? Or is there anything you'd like to see us do that we're not?
Well, as far as schools go, in your visits, how many schools do you generally go to?
Ooh, I think last year I did 500 or 600 classes, I think, well, maybe, was that my half year?
Wow.
No, I think I did 1,000 classes for the year, I think is what it was. Because there was a lot of days where I was doing, I can do back-to-back. If I, figure them, I usually try to, line them up so I can do the same class, at 3 different schools a lot of times. Or I can do, a lot of times when I go to the schools, I'll do, one entire grade, but I'll do each classroom. So, and there's usually, 3 classes a grade. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so I usually hit a school, every school system of LaPorte County, it seems, at least once. But LaPorte schools in Michigan City and New Prairie, I go to them the most. So, but New Prairie, they have where the first graders, I think it is, I come there every month and do a different program for them, for their first graders. They do a whole science curriculum based off of our recycling classes that we do. I do the middle schools. I go into the high schools and teach some career classes as far as what you can go into is from different environmental recycling standards and stuff like that. And then I do some of the after hours classes in Michigan City, so the hours for ours, and go and do some of those. And then a lot of the summer camps and stuff too, we go to. So we kind of make our rounds. I try to get a little bit of everywhere. The lacrosse I can't get into. I don't know what's going on there. I keep working on them. Eventually lacrosse will let me come in. But yeah.
We do not see Sasha very much during the school year. She's pretty much gone.
Yeah?
Comes in.
I come to get the worms and then I leave. But yeah. But they're really awesome. They gather a lot of supplies for me. So I do eco sculpture classes with the kids where I take all kinds of different recyclables, bring them in, and let the kids use their imagination to see what you can turn different things into. And they collect tons of stuff for me. We put it in bins and stuff, and then I just have to haul the bins to the school with some glue and scissors and that, and then we just let the kids work their magic. And they do some really cool stuff. So it's fun to see how their minds work. But yeah. So I'm lucky to have such a good group with me.
Actually, do you have a handout for the school kids as to what they can recycle and things?
Yeah, so I give them the We Sort list, that one that we hand out to everybody. It works really well because it has the pictures on it. So even when I go to preschools and stuff, because I do a couple different preschools where I get some pretty young kids, but those kids are on it. So usually we do a sorting class on what. So they have to. I bring a whole bunch of random stuff, and they have to tell me what stuff goes in the recycling, what stuff would go in the garbage, and they even do a compost and reuse piles, and this is 2 and 3-year-olds that can do that stuff. So, but they take it home. I tell them, make sure you tell your adult, give this to your adult so that they can help you. But I think the kids are usually the driving force in recycling at most people's houses, because the kids will be the ones that, will yell at their parents, and be like, hey, that goes in the recycling. Don't be throwing that away. Because they'll get on them because it's something they know that they can actually teach an adult, which is pretty cool when you're a kid. So, but yeah, so we do that, and then there's different things. Usually every class I do is interactive though, so that I don't think most kids like you just standing there talking to them. So I always try to do something hands-on so that they can, keep their attention span. And then that way too, I can see what they're more interested in and sculpt it more to that direction, kind of keep it with them. But I have a lot of fun with it.
Sasha also attends both the chambers new teachers luncheons. Okay. So we get the new teachers right away with their curriculum, and then we give them a little gift so that they can remember us all year long.
So Clay, with all this education, the amount that we are recycling, is it going up? If you look at what we did 10 years ago to now, or? Well,
and that's a good question, but it's not a fair question because packaging is getting better, but they're packaging things smaller.
Okay.
So bigger. So we are actually increasing what we're picking up, but the numbers are going down a little bit volume-wise.
Okay.
Because the packaging and everything's getting smaller. Where there's no packaging, we're taking more stuff. Anything that we found that we can't take curbside, if you look at our entryway in there, there's probably 15 boxes of stuff that Sasha collects now that can't go into your curbside container, but you can bring them to us and we'll make sure they go to the proper place.
Yeah, the reason I was asking was with all this Amazon stuff that comes to people's homes now, I was wondering whether the amount has increased, yeah.
Yeah, like the cardboard part of it has, but like styrofoam, which we don't really take anymore,
Okay.
styrofoam has really gone way down.
Okay.
Because you buy a stereo, you get like tons of styrofoam in it when I'm packing it. And everything's wrapped in plastic. You know, they wrap the box and they wrap the product. And it's like everything's wrapped in plastic.
Amazon's even starting something newer. They have a delivery system now, or they're implementing it, where it's a reusable delivery system. You don't keep the packaging. It returns with the delivery person and they reuse it.
It's like canisters they're using. Wasn't it
pretty
in New York
interesting.
City is where the
Yeah,
pilot
that's where
is?
their pilot program, yeah.
So you send back, when you do your reorder, basically they come pick up your box with your canisters you had prior and switch you out with the new ones that are full again. So they're piloting there. I think by the end of the year they're going to decide if they can expand. But something different, hopefully. Usually when Amazon does stuff, people follow, so.
Thank you.
Reaching a lot more people. I believe it was, I think that'll be up here later, our 5-in-1, but over 1,000 people came to our 5-in-1 collection. So we're reaching more people, but it seems like they're getting smarter about what they're bringing to us.
Okay.
All right, very good, thank you. Yeah, very informative. Moving on to equipment use.
Just wanted to just give a shout out to the Michigan City Sanitary District and ourselves. We had cooperation. They borrowed our grinder for the month of June to take care of some foliage that they had on Carwick Road, and then they took it over to Hitchcock Road and finished up. It was a good, successful event, I believe. They came and picked it up, you know, and they had it for the whole month, and they were able to use it every day. Our guy went over there to check a couple times, make sure they weren't having any problems operating. I believe the city hired Woodruff and Sons to operate it for them, and they made a tremendous amount of headway over there. It helped both of us. They don't have to bring that green waste to us then. They can clean it up right there on their own site and leave it there and provide it to their residents in Michigan City. So I just wanted you to know that we did loan that to them for a month. Came back without a problem, went without a problem, and came back without a problem. The only thing is he didn't really want to give it back. He said, we'll keep it for a few more weeks, but I said, we got a lot of green waste piling up ourselves, Mr. Custody, bring that back. So.
Good, good, very good. All right, old business?
Compost site update. I hope some of you came in Ziegler Road and seen that the building's done. Beautiful. We're kind of slowly having what I call a soft opening. We're letting people come in now and kind of making sure what we have set up is going to work. In a couple of weeks, we'll be inviting all the dignitaries out for the ribbon cutting and let you see the inside. I left a business card in front of everybody's nameplate with Vince's. If you ever want to go out there and tour it before or even after, he's available to take you through, or call myself and I'll take you through. But I would say within 2 weeks, we're going to really be pumping the advertisement and let everybody know that we're open, we're in business. We had a few hiccups building it, ruffled a few feathers, you know, but we're trying to be good neighbors. I mean, we have to work with the Fair Board and we have to work with the Highway Department, you know, and I think our guys ruffled a few feathers through the process, but we've made amends. We hope everything's back to normal now that we're on our own little site there. We think things will be okay. Okay. I did leave in front of you the change request log status to show the original contract amount was $1,062,983. We had 11 change orders in the amount of $19,403.
If you hold on just a minute, Clay, so I can see where that's at. Which packet's that in? Or where's it at?
Yeah, it's, you know,
Should be always the next
city, that's the one.
third to last page.
Okay, I got it. Got it, Rich?
Keep going.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, 3 pages back.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
All right, now you can go.
Original contract was $1,063,983, and then we had $19,402 in change orders. The revised contract at this point is $1,083,385. I don't believe you'll see any more change orders because we're 90% complete there. The next page in your packet is our certificate of occupation from the city of LaPorte. Somehow that one lot there, that's bordered on both sides and behind by the county, but somehow that got looped into the city for some reason. Nobody seems to know when, why, or where. Breakdown of the change orders are on there and the prices. I did run the one change order that came over the $5,000 range. Even though it reflects that there's two here over the $5,000 range, we're getting reimbursed $5,000 on the one that's $9,737. So that one put it back down to $5,000. I did not have to run that through our chairman, but I did run the one that was over $5,000 through our chairman, and he knows that we had one change order over $5,000. As you can see on the very bottom, what we have left, we got the retainage and probably one small bill left to pay. Starting in October, we'll start the payments on the loan. We contributed $500,000 to this, so we're only financing what's left out of $500,000. And we're targeted for a 10-year payoff.
So your final debt is $1,088,199?
Yes.
All right. In 10 years, right? You're going to pay it off in 10 years?
Hope to pay it off sooner, but 10 years is the...
But 500,000 we used our reserves only. Half of it we borrowed.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Right around 588,000 something there. Okay.
All right.
I think I mentioned this before, but the payment back to the bank, this is less than what we were paying. We had to hire a contractor to come in and keep that site clear
Right.
as a public access site. So it's going to work out better for our budget. We're going to save money and own the building at the end of the process.
All right, very good. Any questions? No questions. Anything, 5-in-1 collection?
It's just at the bottom of this 5-in-1 chart that we provided you, shows what we did at our May 18, 2019. It's just to keep the board apprised of basically what we took in on that one day, that one Saturday. And like I said, we, HHW served 756 households in the back part over by Pioneer Land, and I believe we were at 1,082 coming in the front gate here, bringing in their tires, paints, shredding, chemicals, electronics. We took everything that day.
So electronics includes like televisions, computers, and all that?
Basically anything with a cord on it.
Okay.
You know, microwaves, fans.
Okay.
We will be having our next HHW collection August 11th, and that'll be down at Wanata at the RAMC. I'm trying to get South County more involved in what we're doing, so hopefully we'll have a good turnout down there. The next big 5-in-1 is in September.
All right, when's the next time you might be coming to Michigan City?
We were there the Saturday after fair, the 13th, so it'll probably be October.
Oh, okay. All right.
That probably wasn't very good timing on our part to have a collection. This, you know, the fair was wrapping up, everybody was all tired from the fair and everything that we had in our K-ones there on July 13th.
Okay, 5-in-1 collection, that's it under old business. Any new business?
We presented, and I'm not sure, Mr. Chairman, if you were privy to, I think it was basically maybe December, maybe January, December of last year, January this year. We had a financial analysis presented that showed what our funding was, how much we could afford for the building, how much our expenses were going to be. They recommended that we have a user fee increase. I wanted to wait it out and see what our May distribution was. That's a little bit less than what we expected, but I still think we can hold our own. But at some point, we might have to have a user fee increase. Since we only meet quarterly, and I have to have an advertised public hearing if we're going to have a user fee increase. So I just need the board's, what your thoughts are. Do you want me to start setting up a public hearing for maybe our September meeting? So we'll be able to make a decision at our December meeting whether or not we're going to have a user fee increase or not have a user fee increase.
Board members?
You think there'll be a lot of people here that want an increase?
You know,
Do we need an increase?
I think we're gonna need an increase. You know, it's probably going to be $1 or less that our increase is gonna be.
Dollar
year?
per month?
I'm sorry.
No, a year.
Year, okay.
Go from $48 a year to $49 a year. We might try to round it up to 50, depending on
Okay.
how that breaks down on a monthly.
Look, we need it.
But we just gotta go through the motions and we'll advertise it like we're supposed to, but as you well know, you probably won't have any public that'll show up. And then on your May tax bill, when they see that I've raised my fee $2, then you're gonna hear about it, and at that point, it's too late. You know, we've already put it on bill, and it's already been through everything. But that's typically how the public reacts to things. They don't, when you invite them out to come and speak to you and try to give them as much information as you can on why, when, and where you're gonna do this.
Okay, go ahead, Doctor.
The reason we want to increase it is because our reserves are going down, or do you anticipate it going down further?
The reserves are going down because I expended my reserves on the 500,000.
500,000, right. Okay. Sorry.
And, you know, maybe the commissioners will have another tax sale and we'll gain a large chunk from that like we did a few years ago. I mean, it's just, there's so many variables that comes into how we receive our funding.
Right.
So you need a motion on that?
Just, yeah, if you just let me know if you want me to set something up, get you a timetable that sent out to you folks and let you see what it looks like. And stuff.
That would be in September?
That's the next time we meet would be September. I mean, we can always have a special meeting, but we meet in September and then December. And we can do it even in January, but I have to let like the IT department know if it's going on the tax bills. Probably by March is when they start getting the tax bills ready for May.
Okay, so we're talking about a $1 increase per household?
A $1 to $2.
Yeah, annually. Okay.
It's been several years, I would venture to say, I don't have my facts in front of me, but at least 5 years since we've even had a fee increase, 5 or 6 years.
Okay, well, you had mentioning that because we own this building, some of our expenses will come down. Do you think we can wait till next year, or do you think that'll be too late?
Well, I can probably give you a better answer next month. We're putting our budget together now.
Okay.
So we're gonna look at, and Lynn and I have been going over it, and our 2020 budget right now is less than our 2019 budget.
Okay.
I just gotta look at what our income is to see if we've got enough to fund a 2020 budget.
And when is the latest that we can make this decision to have this meeting? Is today the latest that we need to decide?
No, I think you only need probably 30 days for me to set a public hearing.
And when is our next meeting?
September 10th.
If we decide at that time, would that be too late for you?
No, sir.
Why don't
Like I said, we can do the public hearing even in December, and then January you can make your decision.
My suggestion is that after you make the budget, I think probably we'll have a better understanding, and then probably we can
September 11th, yeah, be the next one.
take that, make the decision at that time.
Okay.
If everybody else feels the same.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, put the budget together and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay.
Cool. Everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's all I have, Jim.
All right. Any comments from board members?
No, I think keep up the good work. I think the educational aspect is very important, especially to the school children and all. I think so. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a great job.
They're
Yeah.
our future,
Yeah.
right? You got to teach them young. You got to take care of the earth and take care of LaPorte County and take care of our cities and yeah.
And us when we get old.
What's that?
And us when we get old.
Yeah, and take care of us when we get old. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
A motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Good deal.